happened with this bag of money?
Well, anyway, years ago when I first came back up to Philly, and my father was still around then. He was still an active gangster, so to speak, running what was then known as Philly's Irish Mob, the K&A gang. And I went to work for the Trombetta brothers. They owned a company called Brighton Enterprises. I was a bouncer at an arcade, 13th Market. Now it's a parking lot. And me and two other guys were asked to take a bag of money to the bank. I was told there was $100,000 in there by one of the other guys, and it was a nice sized bag of money. And we were 13th and Arch. Now it's the convention center. Back then it was Brighton Enterprises and a bar and some cheap rooming houses. And the bank was at 13th and Walnut. The bank is still at 13th and Walnut. And we walked down 13th Street to Market. We crossed Market and we got the Chestnut. These idiots set the bag of money on the sidewalk and bought a hot dog, a soda, and a soft pretzel at the cart. And I said, look at this. Mob money. And they're just setting the bag down, turning their back, and buying stuff. And back in those years, that was called Snatch and Grab Alley there, 13th and Chestnut, because people would shop and all these young kids would run down and just grab whatever you had and run with it. If you looked like you couldn't run as fast as them, they would snatch and grab a pocketbook, shoes that you just bought from the store, whatever. And they're setting this bag down. So I said, if the kids can do it, I can do it. And I grabbed the bag and I ran towards 15th Street because I knew I could get on the L there. And I must have got to Juniper Street, which is like a half block up, before they even knew I was running with the bag. That's how into getting their pretzel and hot dog and soda they were. And I hear one of the guys yelling, yo, come back. Yo, Carl. Oh, he's gone. He ain't coming back. Oh, man, what are we going to do, right? I could hear him screaming. And they didn't even bother chasing me. They were eating. And I crossed Market Street, and I'm just zooming with this bag. I don't even know if the light was in my favor. I just kept running. And I'm running, and I could actually feel a bullet going in my back, but it didn't happen, but I was so scared, because I stole mob money. And I get on the L, and I said, now what's the worst that can happen? And it looked like a lot of money to me back then. And I said, I got enough money, I can just go where I want to go and do what I want to do. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm going to go to California, I'm going to go to Florida, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. I just pictured myself on the beach, living lavishly, driving a white Cadillac Eldorado convertible. That's what I would have got, red interior. And I get on the L, I'm on the L, and I felt like everybody on the L was a hitman out to get me for stealing this money. So I dropped the bag on like the little handicap seat. It's one little single seat, and I sat across from it and I watched it. And there weren't that many people in the back then. There weren't that many people in SEPTA like there are today. The L was never crowded in the daytime. It was at rush hour it got crowded. And I'm sitting there, and I'm on my way out towards Erie, thinking, let's see, I'll go home and get this, get that. And I'm thinking, no, I don't have to go get nothing. I can just buy all new stuff. And I said, no, wait. They got my uncle's address on the application. They might shoot my uncle. And I said, no. My uncle's married to Tony Campana's daughter. He's a big mob guy. Now, he probably knows these people. He can calm things down. They won't mess with my uncle. And I said, no, I better take this back. I'm going to make a problem. So I got off at Spring Garden. There was a center platform. And I got on the other L going back. And I said, nah, the hell with them. I'll go out to 69th Street and just catch a cab to Florida. I got enough money. I'll take a cab to Florida. I said, my father will fix this. He's got millions. He was a big gangster, and the Italians are afraid of him. He'll fix it. He'll calm things. They won't mess with me. I said, he'll fix it. I know he'll fix it. He's going to fix it. They know who my father is. They're more afraid of me than I am of them. And when I got to 30th Street, I said, he just might not fix it. And I got off the L, I got on the other L again, back to 13th Street. And I walked in. I walked down 13th and Orange, and I walked down the steps to Sonny's office. And a little fat Billy was sitting there twiddling his thumbs. I never knew what fat Billy did. He was sitting there twiddling his thumbs with these two tall guys with black trench coats were standing next to him with bald heads and sunglasses, and they weren't smiling. And fat Billy said, "Carl, you're back." He came back. It's a good thing you did, because these guys were just getting ready to come looking for you. "Carl, why did you do that? You don't have to steal from us." And I threw the bag up and I said, "Your money's all there. Count it." "Carl," I said, "count your money." And he said, "Carl, you don't have to steal from us. We like you. If we didn't like you, you wouldn't be here. You're a good guy. We like you. If you need money, tell me. I'll lend you money. You don't got to steal." And I said, "I got a baby coming. Can you lend me $1,000? He said, "Sure." And he gave me the money. And I said, "Now how the hell am I going to pay you back? You don't pay me shit." He said, "Carl, it's a no-sweat loan. You pay me back what you can when you can." And I never paid him back, and he never said anything. But then I beat a guy up after he was outside the place. I beat him with, we had a stick that the key was screwed into. It was a little chain, and the key was on the stick, and that was the key to the bathroom. If you had to go to the bathroom, we let you in. We stood by the door. If you're in there more than 2 minutes, we got you the heck out of there, because people were doing drugs and making drug deals and all that. And I beat him outside with the stick, and that was my boo-boo. And so they sent me down to the faggot arcade. And me and my brother-in-law both got sent down there. We kind of took turns kicking this guy and pull, and threw him down the L steps. And that was our punishment. We had to go to the faggot arcade and keep the drag queens out at night. So they put us on the night shift. We would work from like 11 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning. And the guy that owned the faggot arcade, Lenny Labiando, he's dead now. And Lenny was a nice guy. He was very friendly with Mr. Bruno, Angelo Bruno. As a matter of fact, he had Mr. Bruno's Lincoln Town car. It was a gift from Mr. Bruno. And Bruno was dead by that time. And Lenny said to me, "Oh, you're Carl. You're the guy that took the bag." And he said, "You like cash?" He said, "Well, let me tell you something." He said, "I make a lot of money here. I make so much money that somebody could steal $100 a week, 140, 160, 200, and I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't even know it. So I'd never say anything. But if they took more than $200, they'd have a problem. And every week I took $200, and he never said anything." So I'm glad I worked for the mob. I really am. And it's how I got friendly with Sal Testa. I'm still friendly with Sal, even though I can't stand him. But that was my experience with the bag. I'll never take another bag again. I don't care what's in it. It was too hair-raising. I can't deal with it.